Have you ever wondered if there are things you do every day that others notice, but never mention? Not because they don't care, but because they don't want to hurt your feelings. The truth is, as we get older, we develop unconscious habits, small things that seem insignificant, but silently shape how others perceive us. Maybe it's the way you dress, a slightly slower stride, or speaking just a bit louder than necessary. These little things might be creating a distance between you and those around you without you even realizing it. But here's the good news. You are not stuck with these habits forever. Everything can change. And with just a few small adjustments, you can regain your confidence, your presence, and the respect you deserve. Today, we're uncovering the hidden habits that might be making you appear older or less engaging, the ones no one dares to tell you about. But more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix them, easily and effectively. Stay with me until the end, because once you recognize these signs, you'll never see aging the same way again. The first habit, are you unknowingly making yourself look older? Picture this. You walk into a room full of familiar faces. You smile, you greet them, but something feels off. People nod politely, yet their eyes don't linger on you the way they used to. You can't quite put your finger on it until one day you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror. Your hair is a little unkempt, your eyebrows have grown wild, and your clothes a bit wrinkled and worn. This happened to Henry, a man who used to take great pride in his appearance. In his younger years, he was always well-groomed, his hair neatly trimmed, his outfits crisp and put together. But over time, those little details started slipping. A missed haircut here, an old shirt there. It didn't seem like a big deal. Until one day he realized he no longer felt like the confident man he once was. But here's the good news. You don't need a complete makeover or hours in front of the mirror. A little attention each day can make a world of difference. A fresh haircut, clean and well-fitted clothes, and a simple skincare routine can instantly refresh your look without much effort. Because here's the truth. When you take care of yourself, you don't just change how others see you. You change how you feel about yourself. And when you feel confident, you naturally command more respect, warmth, and positive attention from those around you. So what do you think? Isn't it time to give yourself a little extra care? Habit number 2, are you speaking too loudly or interrupting without realizing it? Have you ever noticed people subtly leaning back during a conversation? Their eyes darting slightly, or perhaps they try to interject, but you unintentionally keep talking over them. Here's the truth. Most people won't say anything, but they feel it. The conversation stops feeling natural, and without realizing it, a distance begins to form. This happened to Martin, a man who had always loved engaging with others. He had no idea that over time, his voice had grown louder, and he was interrupting conversations more often. His friends and family didn't want to hurt his feelings, so they never mentioned it. But slowly, dinner gatherings became shorter, conversations happened less frequently, and Martin started feeling left out, without understanding why. So what was happening? As we age, our hearing naturally declines, and when we can't hear as well, we instinctively raise our voice to compensate. On top of that, when we're excited about a topic, we sometimes forget that conversation should be an exchange, not a monologue. But here's the good news. You don't need to stay silent or completely change the way you speak. A simple shift in awareness can make all the difference. Pay attention to people's reactions. If you notice them leaning away, lowering their own voices, or struggling to get a word in, it might be time to adjust. A quick hearing check can also help you understand if this change has happened gradually over time. And when you make this small adjustment, conversations will start to feel more natural, more engaging, and more enjoyable for both you and the people around you. Others will listen to you with genuine interest, not just out of politeness. And most importantly, You'll feel truly connected, not through volume, but through understanding. Have you ever noticed this in yourself or someone you know? Maybe today is the perfect time to start paying attention. Next habit is your clothing silently shaping how others see you. Picture this. You walk into a bustling cafe. You feel confident, comfortable, and at ease. But as you glance around, you notice something. People's eyes pass over you without really stopping. Not because you don't matter, but because your clothing isn't truly reflecting who you are. Maybe it's too loose, a bit worn out, or simply no longer the right fit for you. This is exactly what happened to Peter. In his younger years, he always dressed with care. Crisp button-down shirts, polished shoes, a put-together look. But as time passed, he started reaching for the same oversized shirts, the same worn-out pants, simply because they were comfortable. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But then one day, he tried on a well-fitted shirt, paired it with a sleek pair of shoes, and something changed. People started noticing him again. He felt sharper, more confident, and even the way he walked transformed. His posture improved, his energy shifted, and for the first time in a while, he felt like himself again. Here's the truth. Clothing is not just fabric. It's a statement. It's how you introduce yourself to the world before you even say a word. You don't need expensive designer pieces or the latest fashion trends, but you do need clothes that fit well, look fresh, and show that you care about yourself. So what can you do? Take a moment to look at your wardrobe. Are there clothes that have seen better days? Pieces that no longer fit quite right? Try opting for simple, well-structured outfits, colors that complement your skin tone, and most importantly, clothing that makes you feel confident. Because when you dress in a way that aligns with who you are, you don't just look better. You radiate confidence, positivity, and presence. So what do you think? Maybe today is the perfect time to refresh your look and rediscover the power of dressing with intention. Habit number 4. Are your conversations draining people without you realizing it? Have you ever been in a conversation that suddenly felt heavy? Maybe you were just sharing your thoughts, but the energy in the room shifted. People started glancing away, checking their watches, or wrapping things up sooner than expected. They don't say it out loud, but you can sense it. Your words are bringing the mood down. This was exactly what happened to Richard. He had lived through a different time, seen the world change in ways he never imagined. And he wasn't shy about expressing it. How technology was making people more distant, how younger generations didn't have the same values, how things were just moving too fast. At first, his family and friends listened patiently. But over time, Richard noticed something. Conversations with him were getting shorter. Invitations were becoming fewer. He didn't understand why, until one day his grandson asked, "Grandpa, is there anything you actually like about the present?" That question stopped him in his tracks. For the first time, he realized he rarely spoke about what brought him joy. Without meaning to, he had turned every conversation into a list of complaints. Not because he was bitter, but because he hadn't been aware of how his words were affecting others. Here's the truth. Reflecting on the past is natural. Feeling nostalgic or frustrated with change is understandable. But when every conversation revolves around what's wrong, it becomes exhausting for those around us. People are drawn to energy, curiosity, and engaging perspectives, not repetitive complaints about how things used to be better. So, what can you do? Try a simple rule. For every negative thought you share, balance it with something positive. Instead of saying, "Everything is so complicated these days," try, "Even though things have changed, I do appreciate how technology helps us stay connected." The goal isn't to suppress your thoughts, it's to create conversations that feel light, engaging, and worth having. Because when people leave a conversation feeling good, they'll want to talk to you again. So take a moment today. Are your words lifting people up or unintentionally weighing them down? Your answer might just change the way people connect with you. Habit number 5. What is your body language saying about you without a single word? Not everything we say is spoken. In fact, people form impressions of you before you even open your mouth. It's in the way you stand, the way you walk, the way you hold yourself. And sometimes, without realizing it, your body is sending a message you never intended to give. Margaret had always been a strong, independent woman, but over time her posture began to shift. She started slouching slightly, walking more cautiously, and folding her arms across her chest when sitting. She never felt weak, but others began treating her as if she was. Her grandchildren would rush to help her up, even when she didn't need assistance. Strangers on the street would offer to carry her bags, despite the fact that she was perfectly capable. At first, she found it thoughtful, but then she realized something. People no longer saw her as a vibrant, confident woman. They saw someone fragile. Here's the truth. The way you carry yourself directly impacts how others perceive you. A hunched posture can make you appear tired or unsure, even if you feel perfectly fine. On the other hand, standing tall, opening up your shoulders and making direct eye contact can instantly make you look stronger, more energized, and approachable. So what can you do? It's simple. Imagine a string pulling you up from the top of your head. It naturally straightens your spine without feeling forced. When walking, step forward with purpose instead of shuffling. And when talking to someone, meet their gaze. Not in an intense way, but with a natural connection that shows you're present and engaged. A few small adjustments can make a massive difference. Not only will you look more confident, but you'll start to feel it from within. Are you ready to try it? The next time you walk into a room, stand tall, look ahead, and step forward with confidence. You might be surprised at just how differently people respond to you. And now we've reached our final habit for today, body odor and bad breath. Let's talk about why this matters more than you think. Are you sure your first impression is always positive? Have you ever noticed someone subtly stepping back while talking to you? They're still polite, still smiling, but for some reason, they're keeping their distance. And sometimes it has nothing to do with what you're saying, but rather how you come across. Thomas was a friendly, outgoing man who loved sharing stories, but he didn't realize that over time, people around him were subtly pulling away during conversations. His neighbor, who used to stand close while chatting, now kept a bit more distance. His grandkids often turned their heads slightly when talking to him. Then one day, his daughter gently said, "Dad, maybe try drinking more water and using some mouthwash." You might not notice it, but your breath isn't as fresh as it used to be. That was the moment it clicked. It wasn't about poor hygiene, it was simply biology. As we age, changes in our body, diet, and saliva production can naturally lead to less than fresh breath. And the unfortunate truth? No one wants to be the one to tell you. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest habits to fix. A few simple changes, staying hydrated, chewing sugar-free gum, using alcohol-free mouthwash, and maintaining a consistent oral hygiene routine can make all the difference. Even small habits like replacing your toothbrush regularly and keeping your clothes fresh can ensure that you always make a positive impression. The reality is this: no one wants to lose social closeness over something so easy to fix. When you feel confident in your breath and body hygiene, you naturally feel more at ease in conversations, and that allows for genuine, effortless connections with others. So what do you think? Is it time to check in on your habits? A small change today might just make you more magnetic in every conversation. Now here's what really matters. By now you've probably realized something important. None of us are perfect. And over time, small habits can quietly chip away at our confidence and presence. But here's the best part. Every single thing we talked about today can be changed, and it's easier than you think. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just choose one or two things that resonated with you the most. Try making a small adjustment over the next few days. Maybe it's a sharper haircut, a more polished outfit, a subtle shift in the way you communicate, or simply standing up straighter when you walk. Each small step brings you closer to the best version of yourself. And now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits made you think the most? Have you ever noticed any of them in yourself? Drop a comment below. Let's start a conversation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss valuable content like this. And if you know someone who could benefit from these insights, share this video with them. Thank you for spending your time with me today. And remember, age doesn't define how you show up in the world. How you take care of yourself does. See you in the next video.